Hey guys, this video is not going to make any sense unless you watched my video yesterday. And I think I'm actually going to have time to start going back into the Neville stuff I was trying to do before all this stuff happened. But I wanted to follow up on the video I made yesterday, which got like so many comments from so many smart and insightful people. It was kind of mind-blowing. Like nearly every comment that was left was from somebody who, you know, was thoughtful, and it blew my mind. I got so many good angles on what I was talking about. I think this video is going to be very unsatisfying because I've come to a certain sort of overall conclusion about everything that is happening in general. And I also got kind of a micro conclusion thanks to the events of my day that led me, of course, a place that I'm sure you won't be surprised. But I feel pretty over it today. I kind of made a lot of decisions yesterday, weirdly, or maybe just like one big decision or a couple big decisions that affect a lot of other things. And today I am feeling buoyant because of it. And so I wanted to just talk about briefly what happened without going into too much detail about anything. I'm not trying to make another 50-minute video about my personal life and experience, although I guess that's all this channel really is at the end of the day. But the first thing of events that happened yesterday, the first thing that happened was I left like the parking lot where I was making this video yesterday and uploaded it, put it up. And about a half hour after that, I peripherally, not directly, this didn't happen directly to me, but it impacted somebody else who matters. Somebody I know got a kind of a minor windfall, close to 6 figures. And what this did for me was it took an immense amount of financial pressure that was created by me, that I had put on myself. It lessened that greatly. When I got to work yesterday after making that video, I have not felt that exhausted, I don't think, ever in the entire time I've had the business. I got to work and just this sense of absolute burnout descended upon me. Like, I was like, everything I did yesterday at work-wise, was done in a sense of fight or flight. This is how I used to feel about having a job in my late teens, which is really the last time I had a job where I felt like this. It was like being somewhere I absolutely did not want to be, and like almost having a panic attack. I need to get the hell out of here. But so, you know, I'm a lot better at dealing with those kinds of feelings at my ripe old age now. And so, you know, I get those feelings, and you want to just flee, and that only makes things worse. And thank God I figured that out at some point 20 years ago, or my life would be a lot different than it is now. You know, in those situations, I just tell myself, listen, this isn't going to get any better if you get in the car and go home. Start doing the next thing that needs to be done. And before you know it, everything will be done and you can leave. So that was yesterday for me, even in spite of my peripheral windfall, a windfall that provides security for me. I don't have direct access to it. However, it is a security net for me. It would be provided to me if I needed it. Let's put it that way. So, and I am not at all beyond the point where a 6-figure windfall that happens in one day is impactful. I'm not to the financial status where I'm just like, oh, 100 grand, who cares? So that happened almost immediately after I made this video, which seems somehow relevant. I don't know. The timing is, as Michael Scott from The Office would say, nothing short of predominant. So that showing up at that time, you know, I'm like, okay, taking notes. What does this mean? How does this relate to what's going on? The ever-evolving mystery puzzle that is this existence that I enjoy trying to figure out. So that happened, and it almost increased that, because then I was like, wow, I really don't need to be here now. I really don't need to be working right now. But anyway, I got through that part of it, and I told my business partner, my former significant other, part of my soul family. So, I just told him, and he was supportive of this, and he's been telling me this for a long time. I just told him, I think I need to take some time off of working. Not try to set this thing up so that it continues to run at the same pace that it has without me being here. Like, I think I need to pause, like, not advertise, maintain whatever comes in organically. But like, I really need, even if it's just a few days, like, I need to take off. I'm burned out and I'm doing too much. I was saying on this channel a month ago, like, I felt this huge, like, energy access. Just like, my output over the last month has been insane at work, with creating content for work, creating content for this channel, creating content for my subreddit, which is linked below. There's a bunch of stuff on there to read if you like to read stuff. It's just, January was pretty much the apex of creation, content creation and physical output, physical productivity, and just basically nailing as much as I possibly could every day, that I think I've ever experienced. It was just huge. It was just a huge amount of, it's just like an exodus from me. And I just realized I'm really, like, I have hit burnout point. I think this is a good example of just because you can doesn't mean you should. It was like, access to all this energy was given to me, and I just went completely nuts with it and sort of lost sight of the fact that I still need sleep. And I think I got 5 hours of sleep a night average for the entire month. And, I felt a little bad because I would end up, like I was saying, I'd feel guilty because I'd be too tired to, like, play with my cats. And that's really important. Like, honestly, in my whole life, if you take fear and anxiety out of the equation, which, even when you're not feeling it, is a driver for work and generating money, if you take that out of the equation, what's more important than, like, taking care of my pets, for whom I am their entire world, and they literally don't have anything outside of my house and me. So, like, I'm hyper aware of that, and I failed on that front a couple times, because that's like an end of the day thing. I come home and then I play with them a bunch at night, and so just totally failed on that. And that happened probably 3 times, including last night, suckily, and that's not happening. I'm just not allowing that to happen anymore. It's just stupid. Anyway, so where was I? I left work intending to be like, I didn't go home to feed my cats at lunch. They have other food, but they get like fresh food at lunch. I was like, well, I'm just going to work straight through to like 2 p.m. and I'll go home then. Well, I didn't end up leaving until 4. And then I went to the grocery store, and the first thing I saw was a huge display of fresh tulips for a pretty decent price. Not that that really matters, but, I was still enticed by what a good deal these were. And I thought, and I have thought this over the last month, again, so stupid. Over the month of January, pretty much every time I was at the grocery store, I saw some flower or something. And one of the things that I do frequently when I am in a better state, clearly, is I take flowers to my mom. She only lives like a block away from where I live, and she only lives like 3 blocks away from this grocery store. And so I can't tell you, there were a couple times in January where I thought, I was there and I thought, I should take mom some flowers. And I thought, I don't have it in me to do that. I'm, just like I was saying in the video, I don't have it in me to like be friendly with these people next door at work. I don't have it in me. I don't have the energy to talk to people at the gym. And, my justification for that is, okay, I don't give a shit. I still have energy for the things that are important, like my family and my cats and my significant other, and to be patient with people at work. Those are like, that's the important thing. And I immediately thought, I was fucking exhausted last night. Just absolutely the apex of depletion that I can remember in history, but not too depleted to go to the store and buy some outrageously cheesy popcorn. And while I was there, I saw these flowers. I thought I should take Mom some flowers. And I immediately thought, I am way too tired for that. A few weeks ago, also, my aunt and my mom texted me and asked me to go out to dinner. And I was like, I can't, I'm too tired. I'm too swamped. And they were both like protesting that. And I didn't go. And on my way home that night, I knew they were at this restaurant at 6 o'clock. I ended up being on my way home at 6:20 p.m. And I thought it was right there. It was like 2 blocks away. I turned, I was like, I'm just going to go say hi to them and then go home. I'm just going to stop in. They don't know I'm coming. That'll be fun for them. And I turned, I got near the restaurant, and I just said, I can't do it. I got to go home. I'm too depleted. And so at the store last night, I had the exact same thought. And I just thought, you know what? Fuck this. Like, I called my mom. I was like, are you home? Okay, I'm going to stop by and drop you off something, which she knows exactly what that means. And I just said, I've reached an outrageous point here. My priorities have gotten out of whack. And they've gotten out of whack because of fear, period. And so, despite the fact that I was just, oh my God, I mean, this was like 4:30 p.m. I went to my mom's. I brought her a whole bunch of tulips, which of course, whatever. And then I started, talk. She's like, you look so tired. And we started talking just in general about stuff. And she said, oh, when I was at dinner with Debbie, my aunt, when I was at dinner with Debbie, I told her, I don't think I've seen Maggie since Christmas, which isn't that long. It's only like a month, but, so my mom's obviously distressed. She's almost 80. How much time does she have? Who knows? And my stepfather came in, and I mentioned, of course, I didn't know he was going to be there, but of course, as I was heading over there, I was like, I'm going to tell him about this and see what his insight is about this thing where this guy appeared in Petco. And so I told him that. And if you listen to the conversation, he's a talker. And I was freaking exhausted, but this conversation went on for like 90 minutes. And he, interestingly, he said, well, you created this, obviously. I know that. And he kind of like went to the surface explanation of, you've been thinking about him, and then he shows up. But I know it's more than that. And we went more into it than that. And I just said, I know that I created this and I know it's meaningful. And, his take on it, which somebody actually did leave a comment about this last night. If you're watching this, I read your comment after I talked to him, and I was like, there it is. There's somebody else reflecting this exact thing. He said, this guy is a reason for you not to go to the gym. That is all this guy is. He's a reason for me not to go to the gym. I manifested the living, breathing, I don't want to go to the gym message. And I was telling my stepfather, I had already made a plan. What's weird about this is I had already made a plan to go back to the gym again. I was just going to go later in the day, which I don't think I mentioned this yesterday, but one of the benefits of stopping going to the gym in the morning is that I realized that getting up, not moving at all, directly getting in my car, directly going to the gym and starting to walk I think has been causing a major problem with my knee. I've had this major issue with my knee, and that has gotten way better. It's like since I stopped walking in the morning. So that's another reason why I don't think I'm going to ever go back to doing that again. So that was another weird aspect of this, is it kind of resulted in something good. And then I'm making this plan to go later in the day and to keep on doing that thing, feeling like I need to be doing that. I don't particularly want to do it. It's not like I'm like, oh, I miss the gym so much and this guy's preventing me from going. My stepfather said, I think this guy is I don't want to go to the gym anymore, and he's an excuse for you not to go. And I was like, that is the first thing I've heard that starts to produce that feeling of relief. Like I've hit upon it. Like that's making sense to me. And I said, okay, I'm not gonna go to the gym then. Like I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go with it because I don't want to go. And sorry, this must sound so dumb or insignificant, but I don't want to go. It's like I have been in this I'm doing too much. And it's like I was going to add another thing in. It's a healthy thing. It's something I don't hate. I usually enjoy it, but right now, it's just another like schedule. I don't know. And my stepfather said, I think you shouldn't go. I think you should scrap that plan. And that, just like hearing somebody like say that, I felt so much better. Like I felt so much better about the fact that this guy had appeared. Obviously, this isn't the really significant part of all of this for me. That was just like, I think the end thing that slapped me in the face to wake me up so that I could open my eyes to the entirety of my life situation and to kind of figure out that there are certain things that need to be dealt with. And I think the biggest one of those is a fear and anxiety regarding security that I'm currently dealing with by doing as much as I can every day. A lot of outer, like 3D external events over the last year, stuff that I've read, topics I've gotten into, things I've become educated on. Getting educated on things is really, it's a double-edged sword. It's like you have to be so careful to be able to be informed, but to not allow that thing to start creating a reality for you. This is tricky. And I think I failed kind of a lot. And the kittens showing up really disrupted a bad road that I was going down last March and April, which ended up greatly benefiting me financially, because that's what always happens. That is the one area that I don't even want to come anywhere near. Like, I don't even want to think about it. I don't want to do anything. It's tuned just right. Leave that alone. But yeah, I think this drive to do as much as possible, I know. This drive to do as much as possible is coming from the plane of scarcity. It is, I need to accumulate as much as possible. I need to do everything I can before something really bad happens so that I will be okay. I can't imagine the anxiety that other people are going through who, I understand the mental state of much of the world right now, because we're being inundated with all of this stuff. And it's, I think it's a challenge to navigate it mentally without starting to believe things and focus on things that then begin to create a reality for you that, in reality or in your perception or both or whatever, if they're the same thing, starts to really reflect those beliefs, and you start experiencing that stuff. And a year ago right now, I was doing my taxes, and Olive put it, kind of analyzing all of my expenses for the year for myself and for my ex. We are separate and live separately and have two separate households and all that stuff, and separate bank account. Everything's separate except for mentally we are still a collective. We've kind of decided we prefer working in a partnership with finances in our business that we built together while we were together. And my ex is off doing incredible things with money that have far surpassed everything that we have made and accumulated with our business over the last couple decades, which is amazing. Huge turnaround for him. I will also link, what did I say? I'm going to link to the video from yesterday. I'm going to link to the conversation I had with him on the hammock in June of 2020, where he talks about his mentality with money and how it's changed. It continues to progress for him. He's on like a mission, and It's the outward fruits of the change are starting to get really mind-blowing. But anyway, I don't really think of that as my money, but it's a collective. And so, it's like, it's still like what's mine is yours, what's yours is mine. Eventually, probably within a couple of years, we'll divide all that stuff out legally so that he can marry his girlfriend. I can marry my fiance's hard limit on 3 years of calling someone a fiance for me. My significant other that I am engaged to with no plans to get married to. So we can like finally sort of separate that way. But all that to say, I was doing all of our finances last year, and I really I hit a point where I realized for me to worry about money at this point is a mental health problem. And so if I'm continuing to do that, it's gotten to the point here where for me to stress out about anything that happens at work, for me to have one moment of stress about a customer bitching at me, about a bad review left somewhere, about a minor stock market correction, about anything basically. For me to have any stress about this anymore is like a true demonstration of my dedication to continuing to associate myself with the scarcity level. It's to be indulgently, engaging in drama of the world. It's basically, I'm in the drama and I want to be experiencing it. That realization last year made a lot of things apparent over the last year that were good. Like I realized when I was doing that, I was like, okay, you're electing to participate in an emotional roller coaster. As long as you're aware of that, if you want to do that, fine, right? You can do what you want. You can do whatever you want. This is your experience. And I think from a certain perspective, you start to realize that you're here for the drama. You're here to experience things, or at least some people are. Maybe some people are just here to awaken. I don't know. But, I noticed over last year that I'm really participating in the drama and loving it. And I especially noticed that when I decided I was going to bust loose, using the Bustin' Loose from The Money Game by Robert Scheinfeld, process of withdrawing your energy from outer ideas, pendula. I really noticed that when I said I was going to do that. And then when I first started trying to do it, I was like, no, I don't want to remove my energy from this. I'm enjoying this. That's when I realized that a lot of things I was feeling uncomfortable about I was choosing to feel that way as part of the drama. Anyway, I realized that last year. I realized that I really shouldn't worry about money anymore. It's even more so to that point now. But while the threat in the outer world has appeared to grow bigger, it's a perfect match for where it's like my finances are better. Oh, now the threat is bigger. So I'm in the exact same equilibrium that I was, I'm at this exact same state of anxiety. I still feel compelled to work, all this bullshit drama. And I just, yesterday I hit the point where, I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about how nearly immediately I electively chose to create a whole bunch of big boogeymen that would scare me back into working constantly. Like every time I come to the point where I'm about to just turn away from this thing that I've had for the last 20 years, this business, all this entrepreneurial, just the direction that my life has been in for the last 20 years. Every time I get to that point, every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. Every time. It's just something will happen and I fail the test. And yesterday it's like I've been saying in other videos, you will continue to beat your head against the wall over and over and over again until you just get so damn tired of the same experience over and over again that you finally just say, all right, there's got to be something outside of this. I'm ready to stop playing in this drama and move on to something else. And I really think that all of this was leading up to this point yesterday where I hit this wall and I just said, it really is time to bust loose, at least from the business game. It's time for me to bust loose from the money game, the business game, that you can't win. You can't win because you can never out earn all of the boogeymen out in the world. You know, you can have all the money in the world and you still get cancer and die. You still get cancer. I mean, it's just there will always be something, and that's the nature of this level of reality. So the only sane choice is not to play the game. And I think the problem with enjoying the drama is you almost never get out alive. You know what I mean? You choose to opt into the drama and you're going to end up like hitting a wall at some point. You'll end up hitting a wall where you don't like it anymore. You're not feeling good about it. And it's just like, that's the price you pay. So anyway, I think this whole drama, aside from introducing me to many things that people were talking about in the comments, I ordered a bunch of books. I ordered a continuous glucose monitoring system, which I can't believe I didn't know this existed. This thing would have been on my arm every day since its inception, since its rollout into the retail world. It would have been on my arm every single day if I'd known it existed. So that's coming. I'm excited about that. But yeah, I don't think any of this was about my health or, you know, some more surface personality disconfiguration or whatever that I have going on. Like a bunch of people gave me some helpful insight and advice about that. But yeah, I think this is just this is just like a multifaceted manifestation of the only thing that anything bad comes from, which is fear. Fear of getting cancer, fear of what does this mean, fear of a coincidence, meaning something bad's coming. It's all fear. And I think of everybody I've ever seen, especially in this area, I'm the biggest proponent of stop focusing on the external manifestations, stop focusing on the symptoms of the problem, and go straight for the cause, which is you, always, and the cause is fear. Always. So that's where I ended up with everything. I'm feeling much better today. I'm about to go to work. I don't know what's going to happen with all of this. The weird thing about this whole thing is I love work. I love it. Somebody left me a comment a few days ago, basically saying I don't want to work hard. I want to own a business, or I want to work for myself. I don't really know what that person's industry was that they wanted to go into, but, you know, do I have to work hard? I don't want to work hard. And my response to that, I'm sure I've said this here before. My response to that is, when you're doing something that you really want to do, like, is it hard for you to do something that you like to do just like endlessly? Of course you get sick of it after 14 hours, you're ready to go to bed. But I mean, think about the thing that you like to do the most, where you lose time because you're just in the zone. That to me is what work is like, when you're doing the exact right thing for you. And even the tasks you don't like to do, it's just like, I'm telling you, man, my experience with playing World of Warcraft has really like helped me understand how my life is working. You know, you play a game you love. It's so easy to get into a game like that. When I first had that game, I would play it. Oh my God, I lost like 3 months of my life were not spent on Earth. They were spent in that world. And there are tasks you don't like to do in there. It's not your favorite thing to do, but it's like the tasks that aren't your favorite thing to do make your favorite things to do more fun when you're doing them. There's a sense of accomplishment when you finish them. You know, busy work and stuff like that. Nobody really likes that. Some people love that, but I mean, nobody really likes to just do that, I don't think. And, but it's all just a part of the whole overall thing that you love to do. And it doesn't feel bad to be doing aspects of a job that you love and that you really want to be doing. It's like, oh, these are just tasks that need to be done. And it's like, I think there's something appealing to the human about doing tasks that need to be done. It's like doing stuff for the sake of doing stuff sort of fulfills like that need to be a busy bee or something. My answer is absolutely no. You do not have to work hard. Whatever your association is with the term hard work, you obviously have a negative association with that. I have a super positive association with that phrase. And it took me a while to really kind of get it, that other people are not perceiving that the way I do. Because if you're me with my perception of what hard work is, and you hear somebody else say, I don't want to do hard work, your immediate reaction would be, well, you're lazy. Good luck, you know? And that's kind of been my reaction. But I get it. I don't want to do hard work on stuff I don't want to do. That, like, nobody does. That's a horrible feeling. In fact, like I was saying, I got fight or flight yesterday when I was at work because I so didn't want to be there. So, God, like having to be there and doing stuff that I didn't want to be doing for like 15 hours or something, that is hell. Like, that would absolutely suck. So I think the key is maybe shifting what you perceive to be the definition of hard work, or definitely stop thinking that that type of hard work has to be associated with you having your own business. I don't, if you don't want to put a bunch of time into something, if you're associating, I spend a lot of time on this every day with hard work and that's bad. If you're like, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, I guess I'm confused about why you are even thinking about it. If you don't want to spend your time on it, and it's just, if that means just for money, or it's just for the like title that you're giving yourself of business owner, those are, I don't know, you have to kind of explore those things, I think. If it's just for money, there are a lot of ways to get money. And if you are just in something for the title of owning something, that's got a whole bunch of other stuff with it. Saying I'm a small business owner or that I've built a business for myself doesn't do a lot for me. I feel like I would, you know, it's to me, like I'm more impressed by other things. Like, just, I don't know, people that have like gotten a really interesting education, and maybe they're like doing a job that's really specified or something. Like those are, that's something I think is pretty cool. Or even just like, I don't know, like I just don't, my point is there's not a lot of association for me with the status of owning a business that like doesn't make me feel cool or special or accomplished or above other people or anything. For me, I'm just like, this was the only way I could go. I've talked on here a lot before about how I got into that and everything. And a lot of it was just kind of trying to work with my own weaknesses, actually. And it just kind of evolved into this, where I have a business that is, it's very small. Like there's never been, I need to sell this and turn it into an empire. I refer to it jokingly as my empire, but it's got, I mean, there's a grand total of 5 people that work for my business. I don't ever want to have any more than that. Keep it small, own it all is my philosophy. And I don't know. So if you're looking at, my point is, if you're looking at owning your business and it sounds like just a lot of work and that seems like a big drag, and you know, specifically they referred to something I said about owning a small business is no joke. I should have probably said owning a very successful small business that you insist on only having, that you insist on owning and controlling all yourself, which is what a lot, you know, the way a lot of people go. A lot of small business owners have the same exact philosophy I do. They're doing things for the same motivations. It's no joke. Yes. If you're going, you know, but I mean, there's a lot of different ways to have what you want. And if something about owning your own business is appealing to you, set it up how you want. I have set up my business exactly how I want, literally. What do I hate? I don't want that to be a part of this, or somebody else needs to do it. From the very beginning, okay, maybe if we did these things another way, we'd be a lot more successful, a lot more quickly, maybe. But I would rather just set this up the way I want it and build it over time so that when it is big, it is set up exactly how I want. And that is exactly what happened. And it's possible that if I got some like business genius in there to analyze what I was doing and to critique everything and tell me everything I was doing wrong, It's possible everything could have been reorganized and it'd be way more successful, way faster. Maybe I'd already be retired. I don't give a shit. That's not what I wanted to do. So I didn't do it. So no, I would definitely say, try not to decide that a thing has to be a certain way. And, you know, try to believe that you could set something up the way you want. But this idea of being resistant to the idea of hard work, I've said a bunch of times, like, I've found everything to be totally exhilarating, to the point that I will work so much that I burn out without even realizing it's happening. I hear my phone buzzing. I'm pretty sure it's Matt. I'm going to stop this video here. I hope that answered the business question. I hope that this was useful in any way as a follow-up to my previous video. I don't know. Have a great day.